into a new world of gods and monsters.
He's alive!
Here's Johnny.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, I'm telling you, brother, it's a frightful sight. See what goes on Halloween night.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Why We Love Horror Trivia. We are live on YouTube, live in the video store. Had a great match tonight and a surprising special guest star. He sees a lot of movies. He sees some horror movies, so I feel that it's fair to invite the Cinemaster himself, Payson Johnson, as my co-host tonight. Payson, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, thank you for having me tonight, John. Yeah, I really do love the horror genre. Not as much as like some of like the people that play in this league. Like I think more than any other genre, I think something that's fun about horror is just how much certain fans get into this, where they will like support any movie that is released that is in the genre. And yeah, I think it's great what you guys are doing. And I'm very happy to be hosting tonight.
I'm glad Payson likes this. And if you guys are into just having new releases covered, make sure you check out Payson's show, Cinemaster Reviews. He will review any major horror release that comes out, I hope, on his show.
Yes.
But without further ado, we do have a good match tonight. Both these guys I know are really good at trivia. I'm not hyping them up too much. They will do a good job, I promise you. Austin Pez Howell and Jeremy Adams are here tonight. Jeremy the Adam Adams. First thing we're going to bring in Pez. Let's talk to Pez first. Pez, I hope I didn't talk you up too much. I know you know your horror. I've played with you enough, but I know you know. How are you feeling?
No, I'm feeling good. Yeah, Jeremy and I have squared off before. I felt like I did okay in that one, but we'll see if I can do better tonight. Yeah, I play a lot of trivia, but as Otis in the Devil's Rejects says, I keep my expectations low. That way I'm never disappointed.
All right. And you picked Final Destination. How you feeling about that? You feeling seasoned on Final Destination?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good about Final Destination. I've seen those movies a lot. I know them pretty well, and I like to keep something that's fairly contained. So in case I want to do a little studying, it's a little easier than picking something super broad. So hopefully that pays off tonight. We'll see what happens.
Without further ado, I think your opponent needs an introduction. Jeremy the Adam Adams, he's here. You guys did play under the old league. We are under new management. Technically, you guys, the slate's been wiped clean, and we're going to pretend that never happened. But Jeremy, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling okay. It's always fun to be playing in the horror league, and thank you, John, for rebooting this thing. And we're so happy to have it back. But yeah, I you've now been a busy guy. Haven't studied those ghouly, violent movies as much as I'd like. So I'm just hoping to hang in there tonight and do well, so that I can keep going and do even better next time. So we'll just see how it goes. And
you did pick the master of horror, Stephen King. Very wide filmography. Are you feeling confident on Stephen King?
I mean, I know a lot. I love those movies. He's my favorite author. I read all his books. So I'm hoping some stuff, enough stuff sticks, but there's certainly more trivia in all those movies that I could study more. But man, I love those films. So I'm hoping that it'll work for me like it did in the last match that doesn't count.
I agree wholeheartedly with the influence Mr. King and his son and all of his family have had on all of us. That being said, let's get into the match. It's 3 rounds. The first round, you guys gave me 4 categories apiece. I'll let you pick whatever you want. And I wrote 8 questions in those 8 categories. If you get all 8 of the questions right, there's a 9th bonus question. It's a semi-speed round. I'll ask a question. I'll kick it over to Payson after 10 seconds. He'll ask a question, and we'll go back and forth till we've asked all 8 questions. I'll count you down after the end of the 8 questions. You do get 3 repeats in a challenge. Repeats in round 1 work that if you want extra time, feel free to ask for extra time. You can get 20 extra seconds per repeat, and I will also repeat any questions you'd like during that 20 seconds. Any questions?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Now, without further ado, and by the way, you'll number your boards 1 through 8 because you're going to answer all 8 questions on the board. So in case you haven't done that, make sure you do that. All right. Without further ado, I'll ask you your first question, which comes in the category of Universal Monster Films. The opening of Bride of Frankenstein features a scene where Mary Shelley and her husband have a conversation with what other classic romantic poet?
I've seen this one.
I have too. It's been a while.
Very good movie. Yes, very good movie. Quite enjoy it.
Go ahead.
And your next question will come to you in the Alien franchise. Name either Oscar won by Aliens.
They did. Horror movies win Oscars too. Everybody, don't count them out. Occasionally, a movie comes along and it'll win an Oscar sometime.
Oh, Werewolves of London.
True. Your third question comes in classics. What weapon does Helen's daughter Karen use to kill her in the original Night of the Living Dead?
You know, there is a Criterion sale going on right now. This movie's in the Criterion collection. I have considered buying it.
I'm going to talk more about that later, and you should buy it. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. Your fourth question will come to you in the Texas Chainsaw franchise. How many total movies are in the Texas Chainsaw franchise? Should we give maybe a little extra time on this one?
I'll give you like a few extra seconds to count them all up. How many are there?
Spoiler, more than one.
Definitely. I hope we know that much. Your fifth question is going to come in the category of the 1970s. Very simply, who directed 1973's Sisters?
I knew this one. Be proud of me.
Payson's got one, everybody. Can you beat Payson's one?
Your sixth question will be coming to you in the category of John Carpenter. What is the nickname of the character played by Ice Cube in Ghosts of Mars? I would have gotten two. This was a melee question once.
Yeah, this is a question that people have probably had before because it's a very unique
one.
Your seventh question is going to come in Stephen King adaptations. Who plays Dick Morrison, the client trying to quit smoking, in the Quitters Inc. segment of Cat's Eye?
So, John, I've seen this movie. I want to know if you agree with me. Not only is this hands down the best segment of this movie, I wish we had a whole movie based on this segment.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's based on a short story, but I'll give you my opinion on that later as well.
Fair. Your eighth and final question will be coming to you in the category of the Friday the 13th franchise. During the retrieval of Jason's body in Jason X, Azrael suffers an injury to what part of his body? Are you pro or anti Jason X?
I am pro Jason X as a comedy.
Damn.
I am anti Jason X as a horror movie. But I do. It is in my top half of Friday the 13th franchise.
I love that movie. It's maybe my favorite Friday movie.
Your opportunity to use a repeat and expire in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We will go to the board. Let's go to, since Jeremy's on the left, we'll go to Jeremy's board first. Let's see your answer.
All right.
So Lord Byron, go ahead. Lord Byron.
Visual effects, Axe, 9, Brian De Palma. I didn't know Cowboy, James Woods, and Leg.
Okay, and Pez.
I don't know. I just guessed some of these. T.S. Eliot, special effects, Knife, 9, Texas Chainsaw, didn't know. Desolation Williams, blank for 7, and Arm for final.
Okay, at the end of round 1, I have Jeremy in the lead 5-3. Let's go over the answers. Lord Byron is the poet that the Shelleys have a conversation with. Alien franchise, you could have said best sound effects editing or best visual effects were the two.
We'll give
Okay, she kills her mom with a trowel or gardening stick.
Yeah. It was something like that.
Yeah. There are 9 movies in the Texas Chainsaw franchise. Brian De Palma directed Sisters. Desolation Williams, yes, is correct. James Woods plays Dick Morrison, and Azrael gets his arm cut off by a falling Jason Voorhees.
Oh, okay.
With that being said, I will just very quickly on Cat's Eye. Quitters Inc. is the best segment, but that fight between the cat and the troll is the best 2 minutes.
Did you say Arm for the final one?
Arm is correct.
So should I have 4 points?
You got Arm, you got Desolation, you got 9, and
Special effects doesn't count.
Are we gonna? That's what I was wondering. Are we gonna give them special effects?
did they? You're more of an Oscars expert than me, Payson. What would you say? I'm gonna defer to you on this one.
So they never called it special effects. At the same time, there have been so many.
I guess special effects are visual effects, aren't they?
Here's my thing: there is not another Oscar category with effects at the end of it. So I am willing to accept it unless Jeremy would like to challenge.
No, I think it's fine.
All right, then I have a score of 5-4 at the end of round 1. Round 2 works. You guys both gave me a franchise strength, like I mentioned in the interviews. Jeremy, you got Stephen King adaptations. Pez, you got the Final Destination franchise. We're going to ask you 4 questions in this category. There is multiple choice and steals. So without a multiple choice, the questions are worth 2. With multiple choice, the questions are worth 1. Jeremy, you're in the lead. Would you like your questions first, or do you want to ask, or would you like us to ask Pez his questions first?
I'll defer this time.
All right.
I'll go second.
If you don't mind, Paisley, I'm going to ask the Final Destination questions. I'll let you ask the Stephen King questions.
Sounds good.
All right, Pez, you ready for your questions in Final Destination?
Let's roll.
All right, your first question. Out of the survivors central to Final Destination 2, who is the only one that wasn't driving or a passenger in a four-wheeled vehicle?
I can't remember character names, so multiple choice.
Your multiple choice answers are A, Rory, B, Eugene, C, Evan, or D, Thomas.
Eugene,
That is correct for 1 point.
the motorcycle guy. That's
He
in
was
the
riding a
bed.
motorcycle.
Yeah, well, he was in the bed at the end. Yeah. Okay.
Your second question. When Candace is killed in Final Destination 5, her teammate that causes the accident was practicing on what piece of gymnastic apparatus?
The pommel horse.
That is incorrect. Chance for a 2-point steal, Jeremy. When Candace is killed in Final Destination 5, her teammate that causes the accident was practicing on what piece of gymnastic equipment?
I don't know the names of gymnastics equipment.
Not a gymnastics guy.
Yeah, I got nothing's coming to mind on this.
She's on the balance beam. The balance.
Dang it.
Okay.
I knew that. I just couldn't think of it.
Your third question. What is the name of the hardware store where Ian and Erin work in Final Destination 3?
Fuck's sakes. Multiple choice.
Is it A, the Hardware Depot, B, Build It, C, Tools and More, or D, Handy Andy's?
Build it.
Build It is correct. And your fourth and final question. In addition to Ms. Luton, what is the name of the French teacher who is the other chaperone on the Mount Abraham school trip in Final Destination?
Multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, Monsieur Murnau, B, Monsieur Clouseau, C, Monsieur Franjou, or D, Monsieur Bovin?
C.
C is incorrect. Those choices again. Jeremy, A, Monsieur Murnau, B, Monsieur Clouseau, C, Monsieur Franjou, or D, Monsieur Bovin?
I'll go D.
D is incorrect. As you know, they're all named after famous directors in that movie. His Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Murnau
Okay.
is the other teacher. All right, after that round, I have Pez getting up to 6, Jeremy still at 5. So let's ask Jeremy his questions in Stephen King adaptations.
Absolutely, Jeremy. Your first question in the category of Stephen King adaptations. What is the name of the beach the kids go to in Creepshow 2's segment, The Raft?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options. Is it A, Coveside Beach, B, Gray Lagoon Beach, C, Cascade Beach, or D, Reed Island Beach?
I'm going to go A.
That is incorrect, Austin. A chance for a 1-point steal. Is it A, Coveside Beach, B, Gray Lagoon Beach, C, Cascade Beach, or D, Reed Island Beach?
C.
That is correct for a 1-point steal. Cascade Beach.
Jeremy, I feel you on that question.
Your second question in the category of Stephen King adaptations. What is the name of Tucker's rat terrier in Graveyard Shift?
Multiple choice. Dang.
Is it A, Pep, B, Moxie, C, Bravo, or D, Grits?
I'm going to go B on this one.
B, Moxie is correct for 1 point. Your third question. When we first see David in the Mist, he is painting a picture of the main character from what other Stephen King work?
Well, it's either the Dark Tower series, or I believe it's the Gunslinger.
John,
That's 100% correct. That's
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
The Dark Tower is
Dark
what we
Tower.
have.
Yeah.
The Gunslinger is the main character. And your fourth question in the category of Stephen King adaptations. Snake Bite Andy is introduced in Dr. Sleep while she is at a movie theater that is showing what classic film?
Oh my gosh. Oh man, multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice options. Is it A, Gone with the Wind, B, Casablanca, C, It's a Wonderful Life, or D, Sunset Boulevard?
Is it D?
That is incorrect, Austin. A chance for a 1-point steal. Is it A, Gone with the Wind, B, Casablanca, or C, It's a Wonderful Life, or D, Sunset Boulevard?
Gone with the Wind.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for B, Casablanca.
Yeah.
All right. At the end of round 2, I have Jeremy with a 1-point lead, 8 to Pez's 7. So we're going to get into round 3. Round 3 is our movie synopsis wheel round. You guys each chose 2 different categories, and I chose a 5th category. Your categories today, we got, let's see what we got here. We got 1970s, 1980s, 2010s/2020s, found footage movies, and psychological thrillers. Jeremy, you were in the lead. You can choose to spin your 3 categories first or let Pez spin his 3 first. How do you want to do it?
I'll let him go first again.
All right, Pez. So you're 2-pointer, and you have 1 respin among the 3.
Okay.
So you can choose to respin at any time.
Fair.
Your 2-pointer is going to come in the 1970s. Do you want to keep that or spin again?
I'll keep that for 2, yeah.
Okay. Your 3-pointer is going to be in also in the 1970s. Do you want to keep that or spin again?
I'll spin that one again.
Okay. Your 3-pointer is going to be in 2010s, 2020s.
Okay.
And your 5-pointer, which you cannot respin now, is psychological thrillers. Jeremy, your 2-pointer
Okay.
is going to be in psychological thrillers. Do you want to keep that or spin again?
I'll keep it.
Your 3-pointer is going to be in psychological thrillers. Do you want to keep
I'll
that?
keep it. I'll keep it.
And your 5-pointer is going to be in found footage. Do you want to keep that or spin again?
I'll spin again on that.
All right, your 5-pointer, which you must keep,
That's what I wanted.
is going to be in the 1980s. All right.
So he's pretty happy about that one.
Let's remove that. Since I asked Pez his questions in round 2, Payson, you can ask him his questions in round 3. So let's start by giving him that 2-pointer in 1970s.
Okay.
Sounds good. Austin, your 2-pointer in the category of 1970s. A married couple grieving the recent death of their young daughter are in Venice when they encounter 2 elderly sisters, one of whom is psychic and brings a warning from beyond.
Don't Look Now.
That is correct for 2 points.
Okay. Jeremy, your 2-pointer in psychological thrillers. Stephen, a charismatic surgeon, is forced to make an unthinkable sacrifice after his life starts to fall apart when the behavior of a teenage boy he has taken under his wing turns sinister. Five, 4, 3, 2.
Get a repeat on that?
Sure you can. It's your first repeat.
Okay.
Stephen, a charismatic surgeon, is forced to make an unthinkable sacrifice after his life starts to fall apart when the behavior of a teenage boy he has taken under his wing turns sinister. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
That is A24's The Killing of a Sacred Deer. The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
All right, so we're going to move on to your 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Psychological thrillers. An FBI agent persuades a social worker who is adept with a new experimental technology to enter the mind of a comatose serial killer in order to learn where he has hidden his latest kidnapped victim.
Cell. Oh, The Cell. I'm sorry, The Cell.
Yes, Cell is totally from the movie The Cell.
Yeah. Sorry, Stephen King. on the mind for a
Don't watch
second.
Cell. Don't watch that movie.
No, sir.
Okay, with that, we will go back over to Pez for his 3-pointer in 2010s, 2020s.
Absolutely. Pez, your 3-pointer in the category of 2010s, 2020s. A quiet drifter is tricked into a janitorial job at a condemned former family amusement center, where the attractions themselves have become demonically possessed and murderous.
Willy's Wonderland.
That is correct for 3 points.
All right, here's where we're at. So Jeremy's going to hit his 5-pointer in 80s to send it back over to Pez. So Jeremy, you ready for your 5-pointer in 1980s?
We'll see.
All right. An American college student in Rome and his sister in New York investigate a series of killings in both locations where their resident addresses are the domain of 2 covens of witches. Five, 4.
Want to get a repeat?
Yes, you can. Here's your second repeat. You have 1 left.
Hmm.
An American college student in Rome and his sister in New York investigate a series of killings in both locations where their resident addresses are the domain of 2 covens of witches.
I'm going to go with Inferno.
Dario Argento's Inferno is correct for 5 points.
I knew it was Argento.
Okay, so Pez got to answer his 5 in psychological thrillers. Take it away.
All right, Pez, your 5-pointer in the category of psychological thrillers, and you do have all 3 repeats left.
Right.
A mother of 2 who inherits a house is confronted with murderous intruders on the first night in their new home and fights for her daughter's lives. 16 years later, when the daughters reunite at the house, things get really strange.
I'm going to go ahead and take one of those repeats, please.
All right, that is your first repeat. Okay. A mother of 2 who inherits a house is confronted with murderous intruders on the first night in their new home and fights for her daughter's lives. 16 years later, when the daughters reunite at the house, things get really strange.
I'll take one more repeat, but I promise I won't drag this out. This will be my last one. I won't drag this out too long. I promise. This will be my last one.
A mother of 2 who inherits a house is confronted with murderous intruders on the first night in their new home and fights for her daughter's lives. 16 years later, when the daughters reunite at the house, things get really strange.
Just have to take a guess. The Innkeepers.
And your winner, Jeremy, the Adam Adams. We're looking for Ghostland or Incident in a Ghostland. It goes by both titles.
Never heard of it, so sounds good.
Follow-up to Murders. With that being said, we're just going to do some post-match interviews. We'll start with Pez. Pez just came down to you not knowing this.
I don't know what that is, so that's
follow-up
fine.
to Murders. You didn't know it. That's fine. Not many people have seen it. That's why it's a 5-point question.
Yeah.
Well, you did extremely well. You had the lead. Jeremy had to hit his 5. And I don't think Inferno is much easier than that movie.
Well, I don't know Italian horror, so if I had gotten that question, like I'm not good with Italian horror at all, so that wouldn't have been any better. And yeah, maybe if I had gotten the found footage 5, like I asked, said what was one of my strengths, maybe it'd go a different way. But yeah, hey, losing on a movie I've never heard of. Oh well, what are you gonna do? You don't beat yourself up over something you haven't seen, so or don't know. So I'm fine with that. It'd be more, if it's something I've seen and I just blanked on it, that'd be a whole nother issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, like with the new incarnation of the league, you've seen some of the matches, I'm sure. Is there anybody looking forward to playing now?
I mean, there's a lot of really good players here. So it'd be interesting to see. I'm not familiar with some of them. So whoever you pair me up against, I'll just do my best tonight. Overall, I was okay with my performance. I mean, the first round, I hit my strengths and I missed his. That's how it goes. Literally, I hit mine. I didn't get his. Oh well. And then you do your best on the other, the other stuff. So it go. I'll do what I can. All I can say is I'll do my best. But Jeremy's a good player, man. But man, his Stephen King questions were brutal. I don't even like Jesus Christ.
I felt they were equally brutal.
They're both brutal because, I mean, you give me specific character names. maybe I hit it, maybe I don't, unless it's a movie I've seen 100 times. Very, very, specific name stuff. I don't know. At least I got multiple choice out of it, and I can try to guess my way.
That being said, Pez, it's always a pleasure to have you. And we're going to go through these cycles pretty quick, so we'll see you before you know it. You'll be back.
Good.
We'll see you.
All right, thanks.
And with that, we'll bring in today's winner, Jeremy the Adam Adams. Jeremy, hey, you proved you can hang. You hit a 5-pointer. Not easy to do in this league. How you feeling?
I feel good. I feel like I kind of eked that one out. Austin, he really played great tonight, getting all of his categories in round 1 and doing well in round 2. And it was a close match. And yeah, the Stephen King stuff, was able to get enough there to stay in the lead. But yeah, definitely next time I'm going to bone up more, because I love the Stephen King movies, and I just got to go a little deeper studying on those deeper cuts. Like, man, I was looking up all the names of different locations and movies. I just didn't get all the way down to Creepshow 2. I got to dig all the way down.
You didn't make it to the 80s? Jeez, Jerry.
I did some of the other, I looked up some of the other 80s movies, but yeah, I looked up Graveyard Shift, but you got me on that one, although I did manage to kind of pull it out. But yeah, in any case, yeah, it was, I'm just glad I was like, I want to get 80s, but there are a lot of deep cut weird movies in the 80s that I don't know as much as some people, but I have seen multiple Argento movies from the 80s. Like Opera is one of my favorites. I haven't actually seen Inferno, but I know enough knowledge that that's part of the Suspiria trilogy to kind of like figure it out that was that one. So yeah, just having enough knowledge, can get you there, and that feels good.
When I hear witches, I'm like, did Dario Argento direct this? There's witches in this movie. Anyway,
absolutely.
Jeremy, always a pleasure. You did great. Who are you looking to face in this new league?
I'm not sure. I know there's some guys that just live and breathe horror. So, whoever I get, I'm just going to try to really hang and be more prepared next time. And hopefully it's not during quite as busy of a work season. And I can show that I really do love horror movies of all kinds and hang in there with, guys that I know are really tough. So whoever it is, I just want to hang in there and have a great match. So that's what I'm looking for.
We will get you back soon, I promise. Jeremy, thank you again. We'll see you.
Thank you, guys.
Payson, it was close. I'm glad to have you on such a close match. If you came here and it was a blowout, I would have felt bad. But this was close, back and forth the whole time. And I'll give you the last one.
Yeah, I think it was a really fun match. Like you said, it was back and forth the whole time. I really love the round 3 format you guys have of just plot synopsis horror questions and trying to go as deep as you go. And, Jeremy did mention Argento. I think it's just a good time to mention for everyone. Watch 1977 Suspiria. Movie is a horror masterpiece.
I would love to find an original non-dubbed version of it, because I think we've had this conversation, Jason. The English dub takes me out of it, but
not the best, but
I'd love to see it in the original Italian. I guarantee I'd love it if I saw it in the original Italian, but I just can't find a copy where it's Italian. With that being said, I am Calamity John Marr, the gatekeeper of the horror community here online. That is the Cinemaster Payson Johnson. For Austin Pez Howell, for Jeremy the Adam Adams, thank you once again for tuning in. And this has been Why We Love Horror Trivia. Like, subscribe, buy Mike and Nazario's shit, or else the yellow base. I have to say that. See you next time.
Why, she wouldn't even harm a fly. Hurry back. Be sure to bring your death certificate.